Hey friends, come on in. I have got well, I don't know if it'll be quick. I'll try. We have got some cool paint techniques that we're going to use on this little Dollar General shelf sitter that mimics something I shared with y'all this week where I flipped this little thrifted sign into a Hammons Nest sign. So it's a really cool technique and we got a few different steps to take, but it's going to be fun having y'all hang out while I do it. I'm going to show you, this is what it looks like. It's a little watering can, kind of shelf sitter. I gave $3 for it at Dollar General. So we're going to give this a little Hammons Nest makeover. So y'all come on in. Happy Friday and happy first day of August. So August is where my August birthday's at. August is a special month for me. I got a birthday in about 10 days. So I'm counting down. That's fun. And so August means a lot of things for a lot of different people. Back to school, things like that, wrapping up summer vacations, and all the fun things. So I just feel like August is that fun, beautiful in-between. And in fact, this month in the Creative Nest, I themed our month called the Golden Hour is the theme of our month, where we're stepping into fall and just thinking about those late summer sunsets and all the pretty warm colors that are coming around the corner with the fall season. And while I don't know what the weather like is for you around there, I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking about that pretty fall weather, but I sure enjoy the summertime. It is a special time of year. So anyway, I'm not really sure. I think this one's going to end up like it could be multi-seasonal. But I've got some finishes in mind for it's going to feel kind of just like late summertime. And so y'all come on in and let's get it done. And I'm going to be mimicking, like I said, so this is the surface I'm going to be making over. A little $3 Dollar General for those that are just hopping on. If you're catching this on the replay later, especially for anyone catching the replay on YouTube, if I happen to mention any words or anything like that where you get a link, be sure to check the description because those won't come to you on YouTube. But if you didn't see, I shared this. I know you can't read backwards, but it says Hammons Nest. And this is a little thrifted sign makeover. I gave a few dollars for this at the thrift store. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a link in front of you that you can check out or go to hammonsnest.com. I just shared the tutorial. And I gave it a really cool embossed, you can't tell in the camera, but this is an embossed textured paint technique made to kind of look like old weathered kind of wallpaper feel. And I'm actually going to mimic this technique on this little watering can. So that's what I'm up to. If someone asks what I'm up to, y'all feel free to chat with them and tell them what I'm doing. But I got to get started because I got a few different steps for sure. So y'all come on in. I just want to inspire you. And I think, oh, here's another piece that I did inside my crafting group. And you can't see the before of this, obviously, but it was really ugly. Just trust me. I got this in the thrift store too, and we gave it a new look with the same technique. The tissue's in it, see? But we gave it a new look with the same exact technique, except for we also did a sculpt. What are these called? A mold, a clay bird nest mold on the front. But so I guess I love thinking I did the sign, I did this, I'm gonna do this little watering can. I just want to inspire you to say, hey, you know, when you see something, especially like a paint technique that's so unique, that you should try it on different surfaces. You should give it a try in your own way and see what you have lying around that you could play. You can get to play with paint and play with texture. So the one important thing, that link that I shared about that sign, that's over on my blog, and it lists all the same exact products we're going to be using today. But the secret thing here for this texture is joint compound, and I'm sure you could use any kind of texture paste, but that's what I'm using. And I'm using some Dixie Belle drop cloth. Again, doesn't have to be pricey chalk paint. You can use any kind of craft paint. It'll mix just fine with that joint compound. But I've got to do, because ideally, see how this sign has the stained look to begin with? Anyway, ideally want brown behind that. So I'm gonna have to mimic that whole stained look over the surface of this. Let me get this pulled up so I can say hi to y'all. Then I'm gonna get started painting with some brown. So this is Truffle Waverly. We got a little, what is it? Like, it's August 1st, Friday, and there's a little thunderstorm rolling in here in North Louisiana. We got a little cool front. That's what I was trying to think of. We got a little bit of a cool front last night. I was taking an evening walk, and it was actually kind of cool outside. So, again, I don't know. I mean, it was still pretty hot today, though. All right, I'm going to get started. I think I got all my things. You'll know I'm still getting settled into my studio. If you haven't been following along in stories, I'm sharing updates over there. But it is, I'm removing the tag. It is now down to just hanging up decorations and labeling some organized stuff. It's really just down, it's down to that kind of stuff, you know? But I'm still getting a feel for my space, and so I'm having to go around and gather up supplies. And I think I'm actually going to paint and do the finish on this side, but I'm going to paint this brown because I'm actually going to put a little pocket on the back for flowers. So let me just get this sticker label off here. And you get to see all the steps it takes to do this. So heat up that adhesive on that sticky glue. I hope y'all are having a great first day of your August. Dana says she just saw this Dollar General buy one, get one free. No way. I missed it today then. I bought this like yesterday, I think. Thank you, Becky. I love the sign too. And it's going to get hung up above here if you didn't see that. Just got to get my hubby in here to help me hang some things the right way. Y'all ever try to hang things on your own and it's not the right way? I'm putting a big giant hole in the wall. I don't want to do that, so I'm trying to be patient. Preston Mom's Corner Market in the house. Hey, Tracy. Kansas is not blistering hot. I'm thankful for that, Layla. Oh, Sue from Potter's Crafty Corner in the house too. Your new fall drop was beautiful, my friend. Hey, Lisa and Lori. So y'all tell me, what did you do to ring in August today? And while you're also getting to ring in a weekend, right? Getting to ring in a weekend. It's kind of fun when the first of a month falls on a Friday. Step into the weekend. I knew this was going to be a tough sticker. That's why I let it heat up for a minute. It's still giving me trouble, but look, it's beautiful. Look, it's coming right up. I'm also going to do a little scuff sand on this because I just kind of like to prep. You know, some of this like slick MDF, not going to stick as beautifully as solid wood, you know. But you can give it a little bit of a scuff sand to sometimes help with that. And we're going to try to get some of that glossy surface off the top. So I'm not trying to remove anything, I'm just trying to scuff it up. Belle, how are you, sweet lady? That's kind. I'm doing well. Oh, thanks. Wearing it updo today. I did not get a chance to like style my hair, so I just had to throw it up in a messy bun, but thank you very much. You were, Darian says, I was just eyeing that little watering can. I'm gonna go ahead and get the printed side scuff sand too. And let me show you, when I start kind of just scuff sanding the flower side, like look, I'm hardly giving it any pressure at all. And so that print really will start to, you know, come up. Now I'm not trying to remove the whole thing, but it'll just help the paint stick better. Okay. So we are scuff sanded. Leah Hall in the house. Heather's my other name, if y'all didn't know that. That's a running joke with especially me and Leah. She's a good friend and still calls me by the wrong name, which is pretty funny. I get a laugh out of it. The funny thing is she's not the only one that calls me Heather. It must be my other name, y'all. I don't know. Some of y'all on here have called me Heather in comments. But I'm definitely Summer, definitely. Hey, Lynn, you did catch me live. I'm so glad you're here. Marge is in Dolphin Island. Oh my goodness. That is incredible. Okay, we're gonna go in with this. Let me just get this dry because I wiped it down. We're gonna go in with this dark brown truffle paint. This is gonna lay the foundation for the embossed paint technique that we're going to mimic from my Hammons Nest sign, in case you're just hopping on. And I shared that on the blog, and it's such a cool technique. And I think when I saw this watering can, I said, I want to show them how techniques can be applied to different things. It's sometimes hard to imagine it on different surfaces and being used in different ways. So that's why I wanted to feature it on this cute little watering can. And then, but I've got to lay down some truffle dark brown paint because this stuff is not shaking, y'all. It is thick, thick. It's old. It just took me a long time to go through it is all. But so I want to mimic that stained look on there. I'm going to go ahead and paint the back. Just get a nice brown. I like a finished back. Do y'all like a finished back? The reason I'm going to go ahead and do it, sometimes I'll do it after I'm off live with y'all, but the reason I'm going to go ahead and do it now is because I'm going to be putting a pocket of flowers on the back of this, like a little burlap pocket, and I don't want to have to fight painting around that later, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and get this all done. But it's going to lay the foundation for that technique. And for the handle, what do y'all think? Do y'all think I should do the same technique across the whole silhouette, or do you think I should do a rusty handle and then a rusty this part? I don't know. It's hard to decide. Let me know what you think. If I should do the whole embossed technique over the whole silhouette, just paint the handle differently, because you saw, if you remember the before, the flowers are on everything but the handle, the little flower print. But I'm thinking like some just little cinnamon rust would look real cute on the handle, is what I'm thinking. Georgia in the house. Hi, Doris. How are you? In Oregon as well. Hi, Michelle. I love seeing where y'all are from. You worked in the flower bed since they were out of control. That's a great task to do, for sure. This stuff is almost like clay. It is so thick. I'm gonna have to work really hard to get it dry. I'll have to get a little bit of a detail brush. I'm just gonna get my hands messy tonight, I'm pretty sure. I got baby wipes nearby. Yes, Dollar General is where I got this from. Sharon, thank you for asking. Canning season is here. Canned pickles and jalapeno jelly today, Diane said. That sounds fun. That is a fun Friday activity heading into the weekend. I had my nieces stay over last night. I don't know if I shared this with y'all. I know I've shared it with my crafting group and my business group, but my brother left for Texas today. He's moving to, do y'all know where Hardin, Texas is? Outside of Beaumont, near Houston. And so we were kind of helping. I didn't do too much helping actually packing and moving. I was just kind of looking after my nieces and went and got everybody lunch, did all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing that today, and I said I sure could wrap up my Friday with a nice little craft. So let me see what y'all are thinking about. Hey Terry, how are you? Terry Teston. T's Crafty Ranch is one of her page. Here's her page if y'all want to go check it out. It's almost finished, Laura. Thank you so much for asking. I am so close. My husband said he's going to help me hang a bunch of stuff tomorrow. Like all the signs, like the sign I showed you. A lot of the finishing touches. I'm looking around. I've got shelves to hang up and decorations and just all those sweet little touches. I've been doing a ton of organizing. Almost filled up this entire cabinet with all the things. That wasn't even on my plan, but it just kind of started happening. Y'all like Rusty, Rusty, Rusty. I'm seeing a lot of Rusties and the spout. All right, all right. So I'm now getting down in this group. So this brown will help camouflage anything that I might not happen to get cinnamon on, you know, when I want to do the Rusty spout. I really wish it was brown, but I'm gonna go ahead and paint the other side. I know this looks really messy. Having a good time. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that done as well. The fun part will be the embossing, and y'all, it's just so cool. And then I think about all the other, I'm gonna go ahead and emboss with the same scrapbook paper that I embossed my big sign with, but I want y'all to help me come up with some ideas. Think about the stuff that you would have lying around. I think about rubber stamps that you could actually emboss this joint compound and paint mixture, because you could have a lot of fun coming up with different designs on whatever it is that you're painting or refinishing. I know, I feel like on my site, my page, and things recently, especially with the studio revamp, I've been sharing a lot of faux finishes. You know, I did my tabletop with the wood grain tool, which turned out really, really cool. If you didn't get to see that, I'll have to get that on the blog as well, get y'all a video up. I love faux finishes. I just don't take the time to do them a lot because they can be, you know, there's multi-steps to them, but it's really, really fun. It's a fun challenge sometimes to try to get it just right. All right, let's get this dry, shall we? Yes to the rest on the handle. Thank you, Louise. Red Brick Home Crafts. Hi there. You're in Tennessee. You have a beautiful state. And Alabama as well. Hey, Loretta. Sadie says whole thing embossed. And you know, that is a tricky decision because I think it would look good both ways. Let's see what we can, figure out. Hey, I did a little shopping and crafting. Yeah, it's way too hot to do too much outside. For sure. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. April says it's been a little while since she caught me live. Well, I'm happy you're here. Come on in. We're getting crafty. Prince Edward Island, California. Hi, Cheryl. Little Rock, Arkansas. It's so fun. Isn't it fun how we can all connect across the country and across the world over this little thing we love, crafting. Tell me something you've been working on lately while I'm doing all this drawing. Have y'all been doing any crafting at your home? Wrapping up, changing seasonal decor? What's the feeling like? Just enjoying the final days of summertime? Yes, Dana, you're so right. When it comes to those faux finishes, it's all about those layers, and that does take time. It's hard to kind of rush that process, you know? I'll make sure this bottom is good. My shirt says created to create. It's just backwards and you can't read it. My sweet teenager, she's 16. She actually hand lettered this on her iPad, and then I had a bunch of shirts screen printed, and these were a crafting retreat that I put on for some of the members of my Creative Nest. That was our t-shirt for the retreat. So some of the ladies watching right now have one of these t-shirts. Hi, Regina. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. Yes, the dabbed water. The rag or plastic bag faux finish. Yes. And have you ever look it up, the saran wrap one? That's pretty cool too. I don't know if you remember that, Deb. We actually did that in our group. Marge has been making hanging teacups with succulents spilling out. That sounds beautiful. Minnesota in the house. Miss Becky, sorry, the comments are coming kind of fast. I'm missing some. I apologize. Denise is making caramel candy. That sounds yummy. Jessie, thank you for following along with the transformation of my studio. I can't wait to give y'all the final tour. And you're from Utah. Ruth is refurbishing a cute thrifted bar stool. She just painted it a pretty blue and reweave. That's kind of hard to say. The seat. That sounds like a big job, Ruth. Reweaving a seat. Kentucky in the house, Miss Elizabeth. Yes, you did win that as a prize from one of our games. Good. I'm actually using those tonight, Dana. It's funny that you say this. I'm going to use those little flowers in the back of this watering can. We are getting almost dry. We are almost there. This is probably the hardest part of it all. My fingers are pulling off some of the paint. That's where I'm holding it. It just needs to be mostly brown, and I don't want any white showing. So we are gonna get it. I'm so glad y'all are here hanging out. I thought I haven't done, I don't know why I can't get that one little spot in there. It's a tiny little hole. I haven't done any watering can projects this season, so this was fun. Wendy, I'm so glad you're here, first timer. Good to have you. Elizabeth, this was a little shelf sitter from Dollar General that I'm just giving a little remake, featuring that same embossed paint technique that I shared with y'all earlier in the week. I forget when I posted it, but I'll link to the blog here in the video. So, thank goodness it's Friday. Hello, Fornication by Design. Cool. I know, fall is definitely my favorite. I, in general, y'all know this, have a fall vibe. I like all the warm copper tones, brown tones, orangey tones, yellow, golden tones. That's just kind of like my all-time vibe, and the greens and all that. So definitely I think fall would have to be my favorite, with spring close behind. All right, something I'm going to go ahead and do so it can be drying as well is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little bit of Mod Podge and cinnamon on this little handle. Let's see how we can get that to look. Got all my brushes here. Kelly, it's nice to meet you. Oh, Dana, thanks. I appreciate that. Okay, got to get my cinnamon. So if you don't know the amazing Mod Podge cinnamon rust thing, let's introduce you to it, shall we? And if you do, you know how cool it is. So basically, and look, you don't have to use Mod Podge. It does help to seal it with Mod Podge, I think. I mean, there's lots of things you can seal it with. I could have also sprinkled the cinnamon on the wet brown paint while it was wet, but that was a lot to do, you know. So I'm just going to get this glue, and basically you're just trying to add that pretty texture, but it happens to be the cinnamon because it has that pretty brown color. So it creates this illusion of like a faux rust, and I need that to go ahead and be drying as well. And we're just going to kind of see how this all pieces together, because we're doing, technically this is a faux finish, and then the main part that we're doing is a faux finish as well. So we're going to see how it all looks together. And I'm still torn about making the spout rusty, whether just the handle or the whole thing. I don't know. I think I'm just going to do the handle rusty and then do the embossing technique on. I'm going to kind of meet in the middle from the advice y'all give me because I'm not sure. So we just want to get a really nice, thick, generous coat of Mod Podge on the handle or whatever part of anything you wanted to rust. Once you have that generous coat, that's when the cinnamon can stick to it really, really well. Kansas in the house, Karen. Yes, me too. Hey, Shelly. You're actually doing the cinnamon technique right now. Is that awesome? Okay, so I'm going to be generous with my cinnamon pour as well because, oops, I'm going to actually not waste it. I'm going to pour it back and forth. Well, if I can get these plates to come apart, goodness. I'm going to pour it back and forth on the plate. You'll see kind of how this looks. It reminds me a lot, y'all remember in grade school, I always like comparing it to this, when you would do the glue and the glitter. That was so fun, right? So I am going to, let me see if I can just get the sprinkle side open. And I'll never forget one time during one of my videos, I said this was my crafting cinnamon. And everybody was like, where do you get crafting cinnamon? And I was like, no, I just mean this is the cinnamon that I keep in my craft room. I don't use it for food. Okay, so with the leftover excess that was in the plate, I'm just gonna kind of do this, and it allows me to kind of get it down in those grooves. And then since we're indoors, I'm gonna seal it with some more Mod Podge, but if you were able to go outside and spray clear sealer, you can use that too. You just want to coat it and seal it all in. Okay, so that's what it kind of looks like before. And you can do little spots of it. And also I don't feel bad because when I have extra cinnamon on my plate, then I will put the extra back in the jar as to not be wasteful. I got one little spot here I can see needs some. This helps me be a little bit more precise. Okay, so that's what it's gonna look like before you seal it. Just to give you, and you can start seeing the dark brown underneath, of course, is a fabulous color. We'll seal that in a minute. Let me go ahead and salvage this cinnamon. Again, this is my crafting cinnamon. It stays in my craft room. It does not go in all the yummy treats. Hey, Vicki, Yvonne. I'm glad you called me live too. Okay, so now we are going to put some more Mod Podge on the plate, and we're going to seal this rust in quite beautifully. Next, we're going to move on to the joint compound and paint combo and have fun doing that textured technique, which is why I invited y'all all here this evening to kind of show you that live in action. So you just kind of, I just kind of gob this on. It dries clear. It looks milky now, but it does dry clear. I can't believe it's August though. Can I just say that? August. Only, let's see, 8. We got 5 months left of the year. August, September, October, November, December. And I'm excited for coming into fall season for sure. Okay, so this is what it looks like before it dries. I gotta do a little bit under the handle. I'll make sure this looks good from the front and the back. Hey, Jeannie. I'm so glad you're here too. I'm glad you caught me live. If you want to be notified like a minute or so before I go live, that's about all I can promise. I don't have a certain day of the week or time that I go live. I do in my membership groups, but here I just come live whenever, you know, I'm in the mood to visit with y'all, which is always fun. It always puts me in a real good spirits to be able to interact with y'all. But you can comment the word channel, and I have a free broadcast channel. And it just alerts you to all the fun stuff that might be happening at Hammons Nest, specifically the lives for sure, but also like different things that might be going on. Okay, so that's what it looks like before it dries. It's gonna be pretty cool. If you've never seen cinnamon, you'll be wowed by this. It's one of those things where you see it for the first time and you're like, oh, that's so cool, that's so cool. Okay, hey Stephanie, how are ya? Let's give this just a smidge of a dry. I'm not gonna try to dry it all the way, but I wanna get at least, what side am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna do this side. I'm gonna work on getting this back dry so that I can lay it down and do the embossing technique. I don't normally do so much drying on a live. I tend to move pretty quick through things, but this is actually for such a little project, because we're doing this faux finish, it is several steps. But one of my passions with crafting is actually teaching you how to do this stuff. And so sometimes it's really good for you to see it live in action so you can know when you're doing it, you're not doing it wrong. You know, when you watch these videos that are sped up and stuff that I do and other crafters do here online to teach you and inspire you, we can be fooled into thinking it won't take very long. So, oh, Mavis, you're so sweet. I appreciate that. That kindness goes a very long way. I thank you for taking the time to say that. It's fun to have some people to share it with. Okay, I don't know if that's gonna hold up and be as dry as I need it to be. If it messes up, we'll touch it up with some paint. All right, so the fun part. Let me get this stuff out of the way. It starts to get messy around here, as you could imagine. Clean up just a smidge. All right, so the fun part is we have to get our joint compound and some creamy chalk paint. What I'm gonna be using, the material you're gonna see me using, is an embossed scrapbook paper, because this is gonna move pretty quick. When I put this texture paste on, I have to emboss it. So this is a raised embossed scrapbook paper. You'll probably seen it at Hobby Lobby on the scrapbook paper aisle, but I'm gonna use a small piece of it and I'm gonna make an impression. It's gonna look a lot like this. Like if you didn't see this at the beginning or you haven't seen this tutorial, it's gonna look a lot like this, okay? Then we're gonna do a paint wash over that. It's gonna be really pretty. So I'm gonna show you how easy it is. You can do this on any size project. You see how big that was. And then I have that tissue box that I showed earlier. So I'm gonna get a little bit of paint out. It's not gonna take very much for this at all. It says created to create. It's hand lettering. My daughter hand lettered it. It was my retreat shirt for our Creative Nest retreat, which is my crafting club, if y'all don't know about that. By the way, it's gonna be open up later this month for new members. If you wanna join us, you can comment the word club and get some more information, hop on the wait list. Just a little plug for that. Okay. We do all kinds of fun exclusive content in there. Have Zoom nights, master classes, guest master classes. Pretty cool. All right, this is joint compound. All right, just texture really, really thick. Can't pour it out. Oh, it does feel so fabulous, Christine. I'm so glad that you recognize that, because it does feel so warm and inviting to me. I'm gonna grab some of this just with a paintbrush. Now, it's hard for me to tell you how much, because that won't matter a whole lot, but if I had to guess, I would say like 2/3 paint to 1/3 texture paste. That's about, or it could be like half and half, you know? It's just gonna be a little bit more textury if you put more. I don't think it's gonna mess anything up. Now, when I did my sign, if you noticed, I used rubber stamps, or you watched that tutorial, I used rubber stamps on that. So I couldn't have it terribly textured, or I might would have struggled with getting my stamp to impress. So I had to kind of be thoughtful about that. But you see, I am just mixing this up. Oh, no, I'm not. Look at this broken paintbrush. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna mix it up with half a paintbrush. So it's basically just mixing that paint color into the texture. But I'm okay if this one's a little thick, because I'm not doing any kind of designing over it. I am just creating a texture paste that's colored how I want it. Oh no, Wanda. I have 2 things of joint compound and they haven't dried up on me. I wonder if the lid, look, this lid has to be snapped on just perfectly. If there was a little air pocket maybe on the side or something. Okay, here's where the magic happens. I kind of want to bring y'all in closer for this. If you're okay with going for a little ride, I like to bring you in a little bit closer. I don't normally move my camera when I'm live, but hang tight. Let's see if I can get you just a little bit closer. Hold tight. Oops, oops. You don't want to go that close, huh? Okay, let's see. My thing's not cooperating. Like, do that. Okay, so you're a little bit closer to the actual embossing part. So let's do it together so you can get a good close look. All right, so you see the little, I actually don't like how this looks like that's all brown. Let me turn this. I feel like it's making it blend in. Okay, so now you can see my little watering can better. Oh, she does. Cindy, she's got her own talents for sure. Michelle, joint compound's a little different than spackle, but look, you can use pretty much any texture for it's going to give you the same results. Okay, so I've got my texture mix. You can see kind of just how thick it is. It can be less thick than this. I wouldn't say make it more thick than this, but it could be a little less thick than this. And then I've got a little piece of that embossing scrapbook paper. All right, and I am going to show you how easy this is. Because this is such a small surface, I'm actually going to be able to paint over everything. And I have mixed up way too much paint because I know it wasn't going to take that much. But I'll paint the sides with it. And we'll try to do some embossing even on the sides so you can see how cool. Y'all got a good view? All right. I just want to make sure that it doesn't have a chance to dry up. Otherwise it wouldn't be, did I do the right side? I don't even know if I did the right side like I said I was. I think I did. All right. So I'm good. I'm evenly covered. We'll come back and do that with a smaller brush, the edges. And now you're going to take your, design, and I can always piece it together. I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to press it down. Watch how cool this is. And I'm going to give it just a little bit of, just a little rubbing, okay? Yeah, I would say spackle's a little bit more lightweight, especially the lightweight spackle. Okay. So, let's pull this up together. So once you've done a little bit of impressions, let me check. Such magic. Okay. And it's so cool. Okay, so then if whatever you're using, you would have to piece it together, kind of like you would wallpaper, you know. And so I'm gonna take the design and I'm gonna do my best to kind of line it up into what I need the impressions to be. And I can kind of see that I can line it up right here. And so I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna press it again. It's really, really cool, y'all. And then you can think about all the different things you could use to impress. You're gonna be looking around your place going, what could I do? Because you've probably seen raised stenciling. You've probably seen that technique. This is just something we tried in my crafting group and it just worked out so beautifully and it was so pretty. So, and another thing I like to do is just, if I want a little bit more extra, I'm gonna try to line it up again. And this is the hard part, is if you're trying to get it to line up again. But it's so distressed and so rustic looking. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to like, and if you watched my sign tutorial on this, then you saw I was trying to be and get it a little bit more distressed. So then I can get the tip of this up here and just give it a little embossing just to kind of make it match. And so we're gonna let that dry. Is that not the coolest ever, right? All right, we're gonna take a little brush and we are going to just put some of this and maybe try to just give it some texture along all the other edges. It's a really cool impression. And look, I've got some really cool stamps that I want to try this with next. And then there's just, I mean, anything, really. Anything you have that would make some kind of impression, you could just play, you know? But I just happen to really, really, really like this imprint, and that's why I put it on my sign. So, I mean, it's easy to do. Look, it just wraps around the side there. I'm being very delicate with it because my cinnamon handle's still drying. And I'm just gonna kind of come up the side. We're gonna let it get dry, and then we're actually gonna do a color wash over this, like a pretty sagey green. It's very subtle, but I think it adds just a pretty finishing touch. And so depending on your style, you know, you could do something different. All right, try not to touch this. You can see that this is the challenging part. I should have started with the edges, but it works, I'm getting it. You just want the impression to be there so that it matches everything else. It doesn't have to be perfect, especially if you like a rustic finish. So that's what it looks like so far along the sides. And I want you to know you can do this too. Now you're seeing me do it in real time. I want you to go play. I want you to go have fun and see what you can practice on. And then maybe even try something. The only reason I was brave enough to try it on my Hammons Nest sign is because I had done it on that tissue box. And that was the only reason I was brave enough to try that. I would have preferred, you know, trying something smaller like this, or, I mean, anything that you have. I don't, and I didn't, and I just used it until I couldn't use it anymore, and it didn't seem to affect my impressions on my longer sign, so I just went with it. You could try to clean it off, attempt to clean it off if you wanted. The tricky part's going to be getting down in here between the, this is the easy part. So pretty on a pumpkin. I'm definitely going to try it on a pumpkin. And, all right, here's the tricky part. I got to hold this and impress the sides in between our cinnamon. But yes, pumpkins, acorns, any kind of pretty silhouettes, or like a sign like I did. So far, so good. So far, so good. Just hang with me though, because it's going to be layered. We're going to get it good and dry, and then we're going to do the paint wash. And I just really, even though I shared the tutorial, I wanted to give you an idea of what it would look like on a different decorative item. All right, here's the tricky part where I gotta I may need to find my scissors. Because I know that I'm gonna toss this paper anyway, I'm gonna cut my paper to fit right in there so that I don't have to fight. See, it's about that wide. So I don't have to fight with making it fit in there. And I know I'm gonna chunk this anyway. All right, so that fits right down in there. Give it a little push. There we go, and I did it. I did it. So now, see, I got it on the inside of that handle. So now we're gonna get this nice and dry. Nice and dry. Just in the water. Did y'all think that was fun? Y'all like the look? It definitely is nice. So, and look, I got some touch-ups to do over here on my cinnamon, but I can get a little baby wipe. Hold on, let me grab a baby wipe. Y'all like the view being a little close up? Y'all already know what my face looks like. So I am, even if it's a little distressed and has some of the white on it, I don't really mind too much. I think it'll go with the look just fine, but I'll just clean up some of the big spots. Okay. I missed a spot. What did I miss? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I did not realize that I missed that. Thank you for looking out for me. I got plenty of paste left. Y'all are awesome. Easy to do, right? All right, and I've got the little piece that should fit up in there. Thank you for looking out for me. And I think I let this dry when I shouldn't have. This right here. So look, if you mess that up and you're like, whoops, let's just distress it a little bit. Let's get some more on there. Easy peasy. I should have done a check around everything, but it's all fixable. All right. Last part of the impression. That looks so cool. Above the spout I missed too. Yeah, that was what y'all were telling me. Okay, I think I'm good now, right? Am I good? I'll do a little 360 for y'all. Y'all are looking out for me. Okay. Now, light paint so you can see it. Where did you get this picture? Hey, Yvonne, I got it from Dollar General. Thank you, Claudia. Yes, I put the brown as a base coat, and you'll see why here in a minute, because I'm about to distress the edges a little bit. But we're gonna make sure everything's getting dry. It dries pretty quickly, the joint compound and the paint. They do need to work quickly. I had to work in sections. If you watched my sign tutorial, I had to work in sections on that one. I wasn't able to well, obviously I worked in sections on this one because I'm doing the edges, but I was not able to do it in just one big impression. So. I think this embossed paper is actually, you know, it depends on how many projects you're doing. If I was doing like a craft party full of people, I would have several pieces of this. Y'all like this? Look at this. This is yummy. I would have several pieces just in case it gets gunked up. You could attempt to wash it off. It's made of paper, but it does have a metallic coating on the top. You would just have to be careful not to get it, you know. My cinnamon handle's really thick. Try not to disturb it too much. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. You're welcome, Yvonne. Oh, Rita, thanks. Let's go ahead and pull back some of that brown and give us some nice edging. I've got my gator sander too if I have any trouble getting this to where I need to go. But I want to see a little bit of that brown come back through. Just, you know, like on the bottom there. And of course, this is easier when you're working with real wood, like I was on my sign. But, and we got distress inks and all that where we can mimic those pretty weathered edges, but we can also attempt to, you know, open up some of that wood and let that stain hit it. So you have to like faux finishes like this to have an appreciation for this. I know it's not everybody's thing, but you would see a lot of that if you hang out here regularly. Well, this is going to be the back. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit. Just a little bit. I just don't want it to be too messy, you know, because I'm going to put a flower pocket on the back. All right. But before we do that, we got to do our color wash. And look how easy this is, y'all. Just grab your paint. This is the way I like to do it anyhow. It's had plenty of time to dry to the touch. I'm using a color called Olive Wood by Dixie Belle as well. And I'm just going to put a little bit of it on the plate. Color washes are really pretty, especially for faux finishes. You can either do it one of two ways. You can put your paint on the plate like this, and you can spritz a little water on it and make your own paint wash, or you could just paint it on your project, wipe it back to see how you like it, and put more water if you want more gone. Now, I get a little weary of working on surfaces like this that have that slicker undercoat, so I'm probably just going to go safe with option A and just make a little bit of a paint wash. Okay, because I don't want it to get too watery. Me having to put too much dampness on this, okay? So now I'm going to go back over the top of this. I know it disappears a little bit. Don't be worried. This is definitely how you do a paint wash. Okay, then you can grab a baby wipe or paper towel. I use a lot of baby wipes, y'all. And this is just going to leave a really, really light green haze. And again, I get a little weary of using too much water on this kind of surface. But if you're like, oh no, it's too green, which I'm thinking, I really want to get some more of this green off, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to chance it. And I just spritz it with some more water. And that just helps break down that top green layer. It's always a little tricky when I'm trying to teach y'all something live that really I should wait in between coats and things so that I don't disturb the product while it's drying. But as you can see, the kind of like washed vintage haze that gives, that's really what I'm going for. And if you couldn't tell, it matches my sign. So I'm gonna grab another baby wipe for these edges. And you can keep saying, like, if your thing was drying, you can get a fresh baby wipe and just say, oh, I want it to have a little bit more brightness. And you can come back in, and then it just leaves this really cool. And then you can kind of see where the paint wash is. We're gonna go around the edges. This is a big job for such a little project. So just know it's because I do love unique paint finishes. And so I think it's really fun to kind of show y'all. So I hope you're enjoying this. We'll finish this one off. Put the little pocket on the back. And yeah, olive wood's a very, very, very pretty color. I was definitely glad when they came out with all those cottage, what was it called? What was the theme of it? A cottage color. Really, really pretty. And I'm just coming around the edges. I appreciate that. Y'all are being sweet. I just got to make everything kind of match. And see, it didn't disturb the original finish too much. It just added some interest. Just some interest with that. I don't know, if I hold it back, you can kind of see what I'm saying. One main thing we have to do with this project, though, is we have to give it some outlining, because that will really make it stand out. Okay, we're finished with the color wash. It looks how I envisioned for sure. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. It's my pleasure. I don't normally do longer techniques like this. I just felt in the mood for it tonight. Let's give it a little bit of a dry. Just a little bit. It's really not wet because a color wash is just that water with that paint technique. It's just cool, and it's cool to play with these techniques on smaller items like this so you can get comfortable with them, you know? All right, that was just a little surface dry. And I'm gonna grab some. I've got the ground espresso distress oxide. I'm gonna just kind of see how this looks, see how strong it is. Oh yeah, see, so that gives you that fake eye distressed, and you can see the brown. So if you couldn't, you can always try to see how it does on your surface, but if all else fails, you can go pull out the distress inks. And when I have trouble getting around certain edges, I can do a little bit of this. So if you were doing this in real time, I would walk away and let steps dry. You know, I'm rushing it. Hey, Kathy. But it's a fun challenge too. So you see kind of how that starts to look so pretty. You're welcome, Debbie. I really do, and I love, of course, seeing if you do try things like this. I would love to know it, and I would love to see what you tried on. Now I'm just kind of deciding how I'm highlighting and shadowing. And ooh, wouldn't it though, Dana? Those chunky pumpkins. I got to do something for fall for sure. And I want to play with some of my other embossed stamps, because it'll be fun to kind of see the different things that we could use to make impressions. I mean, really anything. All right, I'm gonna grab a little bit of black because I just want a little bit more depth in some areas, just maybe along the corners, a little bit more charcoal-y. And I'm trying not to like do every single spot, but it's just adding a little bit of extra depth. And then I am pretty happy with that. I'm showing it to y'all and I can kind of see where I might need some more. This will make it a lot deeper sometimes when you just go straight on there. That's why sometimes I use the pad and sometimes I use the smudging tool. It just kind of depends. Okay, I'm happy with that now. Like when I look at it, I feel, I could keep going, but I feel like the amount of distressing around the edges, the shading and everything looks really cool. I need to put some more, that kind of got, I don't know what that got on it. Oh, I guess it was that white paint. But I'm gonna put a little bow there. You won't even be able to see that, so I'm not even gonna worry with it. Okay, let's move on to the fun, pretty stuff. We are all dried. We are done working with paint. Got some fun paint hands. I might need the stamps again. I'm just gonna leave y'all this view and then I'll turn y'all up and tell y'all bye. I hope y'all are having a fun time. Okay, so let me just clean my hands just a little bit. Another extra step you could do, it depends on how many layers you want for this project that I told y'all that I made. I ended up using some antique wax on it as well because it was done with the same technique, see? And so you can see it has more brown over it. Do you see the difference? So that one has a little bit more antiquing over the top of it. So that could be an extra step that you take if you wanted to. Just wanted to show you what that looked like. Or you could do a brown wash over it. Oh, Trisha, maybe. I don't sell any physical products is the thing about that, Trisha. I'm not set up and have a store for all that. It's just, that's the only reason. But you never know. You never know. I do love t-shirts. Okay, I just need to clean up my hands. I don't have to be perfect. I just wanted to get some of that off. Okay, so now on to the finishing touches, y'all. It's looking good so far, but I'm gonna put a little bow, a pocket for the flowers. yeah, it's just a fun shape. Anything you have on hand would look pretty. I'll touch this up later where it's to match the cinnamon because y'all don't probably want to wait on all that. All right, let me grab the stuff that I need to put on the back. These are going to be the pretty flowers that I put in it. Isn't that going to be gorgeous? All those finishing touches are about to happen. And I'm going to glue like a little pocket on the back using just some ribbon that I had on hand. I don't even know where I got this. I wish I could tell you, but I do not know. But I'm actually just going to kind of glue 2 pieces to kind of make a bigger pocket. And I actually might staple the flowers and then cover it up with this to make it look like it's a pocket. Well, let me figure that out real quick. Oh, you know what I didn't grab? I did not grab wire cutters. Give me just a minute. Okay. So these are those chalice blooms that Dana was mentioning earlier if you were watching then. She was saying she was enjoying those. These are ruthandruby.com. I think she only has singles left. So you can comment Ruby. I think they're $2.50 a piece. Like that's it for that whole bush. But I don't know shipping and all that. You might minimum stuff. So I'm thinking, I got to show it to y'all so I can see if it looks right. I'm thinking I'm going to staple these in place and then cover it up. I have these things everywhere in my house right now, like everywhere. These chalice blooms, they're so pretty. Okay, I think that would look pretty. The thing about it is I thought, well, maybe I can make it interchangeable and I actually can make it a pocket, but I think I'm just gonna go with it and make it permanent. Does that look good? About-ish. I can kind of move them around a little bit. Okay. And then, yeah, y'all sold her out a couple times on these. my friend Jackie that owns ruthandruby.com, she was excited that y'all were excited about these. Okay, and I'm just, like I said, just doing, I might not even need to do 2 pieces. I cut 2 pieces, but it looks like one's gonna do the trick. So see, that kind of looks like a little pocket on the back. Isn't that cute? It almost looks cute from that side too. But we're gonna turn it back around there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Soon, I don't know who asked that. Debbie, Dana replied to you, I will be opening the Creative Nest doors pretty soon, meaning this month. So stay tuned, we're getting geared up for that. We've got this new portal that's being built that goes along with the Facebook group. It just archives everything for you to go back and rewatch, you know, with all the Facebook changes and the lives and stuff like that. So we've been working on that, and we can't launch again till we get that fixed up, but it will be this month. I can't tell you exactly when, but it's coming. Get on the wait list. You can comment word club and you'll get the wait list. Okay, so I've got these pretty, okay, so like I said, this is gonna feel goldeny and everything, but it was also gonna feel like the end of summer. So as excited as I am about fall, I also really still love summer. And so gotta find where I put it. But I've got a little bee stamp I'm gonna do and make a cute little rag bow. And yes, you can seal this, by the way. You just gotta give it some good time to dry. You can seal it with a clear sealer. It's a little Dollar Tree stamp. So I'm gonna grab this little bee. Put it on my stamping block. Let's see what this color looks like. I might should do black. I always get nervous about this color. Let me do it on the part that I know I'm not going to use and see how it looks. No, I like the brown. That's good. Okay, got this little tag. I'm actually going to cut this part off. So I'm just going to stamp the bee on there. I don't like, well, I mean, it's pretty. I think I might have pressed too hard. Do I have another one? Hold on, let me grab it out of this cabinet. It happens. Sometimes we just press too hard or we think we need to. I haven't learned where everything is yet in my new cabinet. Let's try that again. It looks okay, but you see what I'm talking about. It looks okay, but I think I just pressed a little too hard. I'm gonna press a little lighter this time. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. It's our little bee. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna kind of crinkle it up a little bit. Again, if you're watching the replay on YouTube later, all these words that I'm telling people to comment will not work for you. You'll have to go check the description. I'll try to link everything that I mentioned. All right, I'll put a little distressing ink around the edges here. Aw, I'm glad you like it. I'm just trying to like grungy up the tag a little bit. Actually, don't even want it to look new on the corners. I need to make that not look good. Tell me if you understand what I'm doing. If you get it, you're like, I get it, because I love it too. You just want it to look, grungy and pretty and older. Okay, and then we're gonna do this little bow. I don't really probably need this, but I'm just gonna use it to hold my strips. So I've got brown plaid, I've got some golden bee. This is all out of my scrap pile. I just grabbed a few things I thought would look pretty together. We're just gonna make a very, very simple little bow with some of these that were in here. And by simple, I mean pretty tiny, but I kind of want it to have loops. We're gonna see how that will look. Let me just snip and rip a little bit here. Get some of this Osnaburg muslin. That'll match the brightness of the flowers. Tie into the chalice blooms will look pretty. This is gonna be a tiny loop bow that if I do that. So I'll probably end up doing strips of this and then loops of this. And you can do that, by the way. So strip of this and then actually loop some of the other things. I probably should save the bee for up front. All right, so I'm gonna loop the green, and I'm just using this to hold it. I could do this with my hands. Let me sit back down, I'm standing up. Got this pretty brown plaid. Actually, I'm gonna go in with this one. Sorry, sometimes I change it when I think about how the colors are gonna lay out. Okay, now that I know I've got that gold, now I'm gonna come in with that brown. So pretty. I'm gonna put another strip of Osnaburg. Osnaburg. Everybody always asks me, what are you saying? Osnaburg. It's O-S-N-A-B-U-R-G. It's probably the #1 question I get. I'm trying to make this lay right because... Yep, I have moss. You're so smart, Deb. I have some moss. Be really pretty. I have it pulled out right here in case I wanted that finishing touch. Okay, now some more Osnaburg. And we'll trim up what we don't want. So, and then the bee. Okay, then I might just put a strip of brown just because I think it's pretty. Like I said, I'm just using up scraps that I have. Let's see how I like that. A little bit of the green. When you say, oops, when you say moss at the base of the flowers, are you thinking like right here is what you're talking about? Yeah, I got some. I love your idea. Let me get my string. Just gonna tie off this little bow. We're gonna make sure all the finishing touches are just perfect. If you can think about any more that I need, you tell me. I love hearing from y'all. All right, I'm just gonna tie this really tight in the center. I'm gonna trim up some of this muslin off the end. I do have, let's see, I'm trying to think about what all I have in front of me. I have the moss. All right, I'm gonna do a little fluffing. Make our loops kind of stand out. It's just a cute little tiny rag bow. Like I said, using different strips of this and that, whatever I have. I don't throw away any scraps. Could be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm going to go ahead and snip off my extra string because I don't want that to show because I'm about to glue it in place. All right, so that's so cute. And I know one of the other comments I get all the time, everything doesn't need a bow. I know that, but sometimes it's cute. You know, I'll make this a little bit smaller. Because I don't want the bow to take over too much because it's so pretty. I don't want to cover up my finish. So sometimes I just kind of have to lay it down and decide. I mean, look how darn cute that is. Come on. That's cute. Okay, so then I have some Spanish moss here. Is that what you were meaning, Deb? Yep, okay. I thought so. That's also going to give us, oh no, Kimberly, I'm so sorry. It's going to give us some pretty texture. So let's glue that on the top here. We're going to kind of let that fall down a little bit before we put our bow in place. It's so gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it. I have a rusty something. Deb, I have a rusty safety pin that I'm going to use to hold our little tag that we made. As long as I didn't hide it from myself. Y'all hear the thunderstorm? Oh my goodness. How cute is this? How cute is this? Let's find our tag. I lost it somewhere. Goodness gracious. I do that all the time. There it is. All right. And I was just going to get this. Where are my rusty safety pins? And look, you had to know. I had to think that stuff through because I had to have this in front of me because my stuff is scattered all. Now, I don't have the only thing I need middle. Y'all tell me. I only got a tiny, teeny, teeny, tiny one. Or this one. I think this will be pretty because it'll be more showy. So I'm going to run this bee through here. Hold tight. I still don't like that it looks so brand new on the end. I'm going to kind of rip it a little bit. I just don't. This looks too much. And I made a mess. I have made a mess. It's so cute. Deb, me and you are on the same wavelength, my friend. That's why I had all this in front of me. Okay. Plus, Deb knows my style really, really, really well, don't you, Deb? Okay, I'm going to try to get this to go in. And then through my little bow. A little bit on the front. You know, I'm just kind of weaving it in behind this jute. I don't know if you can see me doing that, but that's what I'm trying to do. And then I'm going to push it back through the... It's a lot. But it'll be a cute little touch, kind of just holding... Oh, that is so sweet, y'all. That is so sweet. And then that ties in... Oh my gosh, this is so precious. Yes, I could have done that. I just ripped it up a little bit on the edges. So, I mean, could this be any sweeter? So, the whole point of showing you this, obviously, is to show you the fun paint technique. But we had to finish it up and make it look like a finished project. So, there's just some different looks from... And then you can even see the back. I mean, the back looks cute. It's got the little pocket on it. I probably need to touch up a little bit of the rust. I'll do that off camera. But are we really crafting if we don't? Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, we all make messes. We all make messes. It was really fun to hang out with y'all and make this one come together. I can't think about anything else that we could add. I mean, I know I wanted the texture of the fabric and the moss and the flowers. It's so cute. Can hardly stand it. So, little shelf sitter. Even though I put all that weight on it, it still sits up. So, that's good. So, like I said, I'm really having fun breaking in my craft room and getting to do some projects that are still not quite finished. And as I keep putting those finishing touches on, y'all will definitely get a tour. It's small. This little tiny project packs a technique punch, doesn't it? Like there was a lot going on. But to get some of these really unique, beautiful finishes, the crackly, flaky, just unique, you know, it is multi-stepped. And so I just wanted to kind of break that down for you a little bit. I know I don't do a lot of the longer stuff on here on live, but thank you for hanging out with me. And it was really fun. Well, thank y'all for helping me design it, and for all your, for anyone asking questions, anyone that was keeping an eye on that, I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Dana. You're always good at that. And I did not make these. I got these safety pins from factorydirectcraft.com. Do y'all ever shop on there? Factory Direct Craft is where I got the rusty safety pins. And you can see, let me show it to you real close. See, I think the big one was the way to go because that gives a nice little end piece. And I also could add a little button, but then, I don't know, I had button too. I don't know, you think it needs a button? I think it's just darling as it is. But I love all the visual interest in a project like this. That makes it really fun. And so thank y'all for hanging out while it came together. And Little Jumble Market's in the house. Hey, Michelle. All right, you got to give this technique a try, y'all. And I just hope you're inspired. That's why I come on here. That's why I share stuff with you, just to inspire you to try it yourself. And I'll see y'all next time. Like I said, be sure to comment the word channel if you want to be notified the next time, just a few minutes before I'm going to be live. Comment the word club if you want to get on the wait list for when my Creative Nest doors will open this month, later in the month, again soon. It's going to be a fun month. Our theme inside the Creative Nest is Golden Hour, where we're saying goodbye to August, but bringing in those warm fall tones and getting ready for the autumn harvest season. So I'm excited about that. And okay, all right, I'm going to let y'all go. I could keep chatting. Y'all have a good night. Happy Friday, happy August, happy weekend. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.